Hello. Today in this session, I'll be discussing the topic literature and life. In the earlier sessions, we have discussed what is literature and why we should study literature. Today, we will go further in discussing the relationship between literature and life. So, with this preamble, let's start discussion on the topic literature and life. Literature and life are greatly connected since literature is the criticism of life. With this particular definition, let's move on with this topic today. We know that literature is the expression of life of an individual and the society around us. Literature is mainly written by man, for man, and of man. And obviously, the literature deals with the lives of human beings. It may be the individual life or the life of nation or a life of a particular society. Obviously, there is life at the center. All that is written in the world is invariably speaks about the human life. The thoughts of an individual are seen through the language in the form of literature. There is always a man behind the book. And when we say that there is a man behind the book, there is a life of the man. The language we speak, the words we utter, are the experiences of the life. And literature and life are connected in an intimate way, which is dynamic. And even every ordinary books become literature when they bring us into some relationship with life. Whenever we read a book, whether it is a story or a poem or a novel, we always try to connect these stories or these experiences with our life. It's only possible in literature. And when a text does that, it becomes a successful text. Because whenever we talk about these texts, we always compare this text with our life. The role of literature in life can be seen in many forms. Literature reflects human nature and a way we can learn and relate to others. Literature reflects human nature. Even if you read about animal literature like Panchatantra or a famous novel like Animal Farm, the purpose of this writing is to teach something or to say something about life. And it relates us to the lives of readers. And by reading through the first person perspective, we can fully immerse ourselves into different mindset and figure out how others think and feel. When we are reading, say if even if it is Wordsworth's poem, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats over high vales and hills. I feel it is not just Wordsworth. when I say I always feel I wandered lonely as a cloud. When you say my love is like red, red rose, I always consider it as my love, not someone's. So this kind of an attachment is found between the text and the reader, the text and the author. This is where life is the raw material of literature. By reading through the past person, when you normally begin to attach these experiences with you. That's what we call a kind of saharudaya. You begin to feel what the poet has felt. Maybe your experiences may be different from the poet experiences, but it certainly invokes or create a kind of feeling in every reader. In today's society, as we are becoming increasingly detached from human interaction through iPhones, FaceTime, social media, literature is something that will never change in the way it makes you feel, regardless of whether that's on paper or as on ebook, digital, humanities, whatever we are talking about today. It means that sometimes, we stopped writing, we stopped talking, we stopped, expressing ourselves in the form of words. We always start using some symbols, smileys in Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever social media although we are talking about, we are living in the most, advanced technology and advanced communication system. Our real interaction with other human beings is rather very, very, poor. But literature is not like that. Literature, if you write a letter, if you write few lines in greeting card, if you write a poetic line to your friend or your family member, he or she will preserve it. Literature has the power because every word you write comes from your experiences or what they feel. It is your statement. Literature should draw the attention of the people to the emerging truths of life and should lead the people forward to an elevated level of life and thought. Literature, the purpose of literature is to correct the people, to reform the society, and to reform the individuals. By reading literature, by reading tragedies like Shakespeare's Macbeth, we come to know that ambition is okay, but over ambition is not okay. By reading Hamlet, we come to know that we should never delay the decisions because it is a tragedy of procrastination. When we read Othello, you can love, but you should not be suspicious, like Othello. And you should not take wrong decision in old age, like King Lear. So literature teaches us certain truths of life, and it will make us wiser. Literature makes you wiser. Literature portrays human life and action through some characters, and those characters, by their words and actions, communicate certain messages for the purpose of education, information, and entertainment. There are a number of characters created in literature, whether it is in poetry or in prose or in a drama or in novel. In poetry, we have wonderful characters created, whether it is Ulysses in Iliad and Odyssey, whether it is some great characters like Satan in Paradise Lost, some characters in Shakespeare's plays, some humorous characters like Man in Black or Roger de Coverley in Edison and Steele's Coverley Papers, Gulliver in Swift's Gulliver's Travels, Hardy's characters like Dickens's character like David, Lawrence's characters. They all, communicates some message. Conrad's curse in Heart of Darkness. So what not? We have wonderful world of characters, and each character comes out with a message. In Baka in Untouchable, Jagan in Vendor of Sweets. They educate us, they inform us, and they entertain us. So obviously, it's a multi, dimensional effect the literature has on us. So we learn so many things from different books and different characters. Literature sparks empathy and understanding of life. This is what I was talking about. It sharpens our minds, widens our understanding. Literature sharpens our sensibilities. Reading a book is one of the best ways to fully immerse your mind into another person's dialogue and experiences. When I was reading something about Macbeth's words, life is a tale told by an idiot. You immerse yourself to be or not to be. When Jack says, all the world is a stage, we are merely the players. Sweets are the uses of adversity, or whatever, whether it is a poetic line or a dramatic line, or a kind of statement in essays, like reading maketh a full man, writing an exact man, conference a ready man, what Bacon speaks about in our studies. Reading a book is one of the best ways to fully immerse your mind. This is a kind of parakaya pravesh. You enter into the mind of other characters, and at the same time, you begin to feel from inside. And you will be, in fact, enjoying a person's dialogue and experiences. When in Tennyson's Ulysses, Ulysses says, I have seen many climates, many countries. I am become a name. He wants not to rest unburnished, but to shine in use. Finally, he says to strive, to seek, not to yield. We come to know the undying spirit of Ulysses when he speaks out. So we'll be able to empathize and understand others' feelings is a key aspect of helping you connect to different reasons, races, societies, and periods of life. Empathy is a very important emotion and a part of character. You must know how to respect others. Because we say that we are talking about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are talking about the whole world as a single family, considering other human beings as equally important. So you understand other people's feelings, and this will make you, when you see the poems like Chimney Sweepers, when you read Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable, when you read about Shivram Karan's Choma's Drum, we understand the problems and predicaments of the people around us. This is one of the important effects of literature. They help a person take a closer look at the different facets of living, aside from what they know and live, which can change perspectives. By reading literature, many people get reformed. Our perspectives begin to change. We think some people working in this place are great. Some people, wearing great dresses are great. If you read the poem Richard Cory, we understand even the so-called grand and, you know, majestic people are melancholic inside. Or even the poorest people may be enjoying life. Or we have different understanding of people, their joys and sorrows, problems and predicaments. So we do not make casual remarks on others once you are thoroughly informed of lives of different people, different professions, different occupations. We learn to respect everybody. This is what we learn from literature. We also learn about the past lives of the people. We come to know history plays a fundamental role in shaping literature. Every novel, play, or a poem you read has been influenced by political context or a time period or a relationship from the time it was written. Every text is historic. Every text, whether it is poetry, prose, novel, short story, everything is historic. It's a history, social history, political history, economic history. If you read Crime and Punishment of Tolstoy, we come to know the history of Russia. If you read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, we come to know the history of Russia in 19th century. If you read War and Peace of Tolstoy, we come to know the socio-political conditions. And obviously, we will have some kind of historic sense. We develop, of course, reading history is different. Of course, it's a direct, factual understanding of events that happened in the past. But literary texts are also the texts that give you a lot of inputs about the past. Not forgetting the pure history of literature itself, with the first novel being penned in 2000 BC, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Being able to read firsthand something from so long ago is a major aspect of learning the lives of historical figures and times. I would also be talking about how literature takes us to different levels of experience. Sometimes it is a transport, what we learn in Sublime, a kind of a transport. In ordinary words, we can talk about escape from the real world and entering the imaginary world. Reading can take us into different realms and to see other people's creative thought processes. Whether it's flying into Neverland, wandering through Middle Earth, battling at Hogwarts, or rafting through the Mississippi River with Huck and Jim, books can take you anywhere and any place. So obviously, we will be traveling the streets of Babylon. We'll be visiting the battlefields and the Trojan War. We will be, of course, rafting through the Mississippi River, wonderful Mississippi River in America, when you read Huckleberry Finn. This is an amazing tool that few entertainment mediums can truly give you. So reading literature provides you great experiences. You will be visiting countries, different cultures, different climates. When you read Rime of Ancient Mariner of S.T. Coleridge, when S.T. Coleridge writes, ice is here, ice is there, ice is everywhere. The Indians find it very, very interesting how ice is here, ice is there, ice is everywhere. And the people who are not experiencing the sea life may find the words like water, water everywhere, or the words like alone, alone, all, alone, alone on the wide, wide sea. These are the new experiences for the people who live away from the sea. If you look at novels, provide knowledge, entertainment, encourage creativity, and offer an escape for readers, enriching our lives in more ways than one. Novels are the great descriptions of lives of the people. And then what is life? What is literature? Of course, we have one statement from Shakespeare: life is but a walking shadow, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So for him, for Macbeth, it's but a walking shadow, an idiot's tale. But for others, life is something interesting. For a lover, life is full of interesting experiences. So it is different for one person to another person. C.S. Lewis writes about the influence of literature on life. Literature adds to reality. It does not simply describe it. It enriches the necessary competencies that daily life requires and provides. And in this respect, it irrigates the deserts that our lives have already become. So, literature adds to reality. It does not simply describe it. We come to know the higher truth. We come to know the higher reality. This is what the debate between Aristotle and Plato. If Plato says literature is an imitation of imitation, twice removed from reality, Aristotle speaks about the higher truth that the literature provides. Literature is important in everyday life because it connects individuals with larger truths and ideas in society. It creates a way for people to record their thoughts and experiences in a way that is accessible to others, fictionalized accounts of experiences. It connects individuals with larger truths, greater realities, and it gives opportunities for the people to record thoughts and experiences. The thoughts and experiences of William Shakespeare some 500 years ago are still relevant. The thoughts and experiences of Aristotle 2300 or 400 years ago are still relevant for us. The thoughts of Vyasa, Valmiki that were spoken long back thousands of years ago are still relevant. The truth of Gita, the truth of Ramayana, the truth of Mahabharata, the truth of the texts, the Bible, the Quran, this, that. We have the records of thoughts and experiences, whether it is a secular book, religious book, romantic or classical, all are experiences and they are useful, relevant every time. And we can also just discuss how does literature affect people. Literature affects people by teaching them, entertaining them, and inspiring them. That's what we are talking about. Education, information, and entertainment. Literature has shaped civilizations, changed. So, literature has shaped civilizations, changed political systems, and exposed injustice. It's because of literature, because of reading. That's what we are talking about, Renaissance. By reading literature of Rome and Greek, the whole Europe underwent change in 16th century, 15th and 16th century. The political systems were changed because of literature. You have Voltaire, Rousseau, Montesquieu, you have great writers. And by reading Charles Dickens's novels, parliaments brought about reformation bills. This is history. This is what we say, literature reforms society. Literature also helps people understand other walks of life. Narratives inspire empathy and give people new perspectives on their lives and the lives of others. So, reading literature is rewarding in so many ways. Some literature inspires emotion. Love poems are a timeless way for people to express romantic, platonic, maternal, and other forms of love. You have wonderful love poetry. You have wonderful poetry dealing with platonic love. Literature about social injustice inspires anger, encourages action for change. That's what I told you. Novels of Dickens, novels of Elizabeth Gaskell, novels of John Galsworthy, plays of G.P. Shah, novels of Mulk Rajanand, Shivram Karant brought about social change. Religious literature helps people find and nurture faith. All literature helps people expand their minds. Literature also affects people by offering them a way to express themselves through writing and reading. Literature expands our imagination and refine our moral and social responsibilities. So, literature plays a very important role in human life, and there is a direct link between literature and life. It has been proved in all the texts and reading. So, to summarize, the word today is ever changing. Never before has life been so chaotic and challenging for all. Life before literature was practical and predictable, but in present day, literature has expanded our countless libraries and into the minds of many as the gateway for comprehension and curiosity of human mind and the world around them. Literature is of great importance and is studied upon as it provides the ability to connect human relationships and define what is right and what is wrong. Therefore, words are live more than ever before. So, this will establish our understanding that literature plays a very important role in human life. At the same time, in shaping of literature, life is the major raw material. Every author has a life, and this life is transformed into words and sentences, and they are now available in the form of best thoughts and best writing. That's why literature is all that is, the best that is thought and best that is written. With this, we are going to close this session. Thank you so much, and we will meet you again with another topic in the next video. Thank you.